Hello, Taiwanese audience. I'm so proud and happy that the Asian premiere of our film took place here in Taiwan. I'm very grateful to you for taking the time to watch our story. Idea for the film began to take shape back to 2014. When Russia started its hybrid aggression against Ukraine. And for a period of time, 2 months, my hometown, Mariupol, was under the control of pro-Russian forces. At that moment, I started to reflect on what the Russian flag meant to me in my city. Why did it matter to me? And that sparked my interest to explore the identity of my hometown, Mariupol, and my identity also. Because I never thought before about my identity. I couldn't even imagine that the flag of the foreign state will be in my city. The idea of the film shaped, I think, in 2019. I was going to film free Ukrainian courses in Mariupol. I planned that my family and I would be just a part of bigger picture of Mariupol alongside other characters. I was developing the project, contacting the people in Mariupol and planning to trip there in March 2022 to make a movie. And then Russia invaded Ukraine and Mariupol was occupied. It turned out that I had footage that I shot before during development, and it was footage of my family. At first, I didn't realize that my family consists of 4 generations of women, that it was important. That realization came to me when we brought the project to the international pitch sessions, and that helped me to look at my project from the other perspective. For me, it was really very hard to take part in the film as a character, but I made this decision because I'm the part of a generation and I should be there. This is the first. And the second for me is a challenge how to talk on vulnerable topic in society and to not hurt my family members. And I decided to take all scenes on my side, all bad thoughts that I know there are in society on my side, for me to prevent my family from different aggression. And as for my family, honestly, they was not very enthusiastic about involving in the cinema process. So they tried to resist it in every way as possible. I felt that they didn't want to help me with something that was so important for me. We didn't speak for weeks. It was very hard. I decided that the cinematographer would be my friend, whom my family knew well and felt comfortable with. This was extremely important. Over time, my family became involved in the filmmaking process. They realized the seriousness what I was doing, and they became interested in the topic of identity themselves. most of the film was shot under the challenging conditions of war, where events unfold rapidly, and it's very difficult to plan everything. And we often had to rely on the available cameraman at that time. That's why we had a long list of DOP. For me, it was crucial that DOP that I can now rely on could be invisible and empathetic. And some scenes with my daughter, they was filmed by me or by herself. As for my mom, it was the crew was very delicate. They just leave the camera and go. Before the film, we never talk about identity. That topic simply didn't exist for us. And during development, when I interviewed my family, I just asked. It was the point when we started to talk about it. And after that, this conversation, it's still going on now. We are talking about it very often. As for my mother, for example, every time when camera switched on, she started to talk. It was also very therapeutic because it was important for her to express her experience, her feelings. And I think she was later in filming process, she was even happy. She has had a possibility to be heard by other people. Daughter's side, our conversations was on the phone. I have a lot of conversation on the phone, and she started conversation first. I have a huge pile of recording of our conversation on this topic. And we still talk about it. For me, and I think that true for many cinematographers in Ukraine during the war, filming is a part of therapy. When I'm very scared or situation is very dramatic, when I start to film, I forget about it. I just film, and it may comfort me. And that's why in the most dramatic situation, the first thing that I wanted to do to film. I filmed on my phone, or I filmed on the camera that was next to me, and on everything that I could reach. Many things first, and the most important. The making this film means for me, I close the gestalt of my relationships with daughter. This was my way to say her that I love her, because I can do it only this way. This is the main thing, that what the film means for me, and it's the most important. On the other side, I wanted, for example, that people around the world to understand why Ukrainians so desperately don't want to be with Russia. In Taiwan, there is no need to explain. And but people in other countries often they can't understand. For me, it's very important to express that totalitarianism is a very dangerous thing. Don't play with it.